thank you. I just got word from our sound guy that sound was not enabled. It was just music playing. So,
Oh,
here we are. We are live. I get to redo this again. Awesome. Here we go. Redo. Haha.
Second chance. There you go.
There we go. All right.
Mulligan.
Welcome, everybody, to the live stream. It's the lovely JoshWho with my guest host, CensorshipSucks.
Hello, everyone. How are y'all doing tonight?
We're doing awesome. We also got Motivation Nation with us.
Hey, everybody.
And we got two special guests with us tonight. Teresa, and she brought along BobDub. And I'm going to let Teresa go ahead and introduce BobDub. How you doing, Teresa?
I'm doing good, Josh. I'm glad to be here tonight, and I'm so happy I got BobDub here with me.
Oh, yes.
You guys you're gonna be in for a treat because we really hit it off. And for you, BobDub, I was thinking about what I could do to make you feel a little bit better. And I decided I had this little song, and I'm not going to do the whole thing, but I'm going to just a little bit so you know exactly what I feel about you, sweetie.
Teresa. Yes.
And I never thought I'd feel this way. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm glad I got the chance to say that I do believe I love you. And if I should ever go away, well then close your eyes and try to feel the way we do today. And then if you can remember, keep smiling, keep shining, knowing you can always count on me. For sure, that's what friends are for good times and bad times. I'll be on your side forevermore. That's what friends are for. Love you, girl.
Teresa, thank you so much.
That was
That
beautiful.
is just the most beautiful, beautiful gift. I'm so moved.
Wow.
You're beautiful, girl.
Thank you. Wow. Well,
You haven't said a word yet, have you, BobDub? Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm kind of like wowing out in my little corner over here.
Flabbergasted.
But it's such an honor to be here.
Am I
And,
picking up an echo from somewhere?
Are you? Yes, definitely.
Is anyone else hearing that?
Echo,
Yes.
I am.
I am only on JoshWho. I don't have YouTube. I've got my microphone, but it doesn't have a gauge. Could it be me?
No, you sound perfect. BobDub, you sound a little echoey, though.
I
Kind of
think it's
echoey
me.
right there, censorship.
I was, too?
Yeah. I can hear
Okay.
you actually in your microphone. Like I can hear yourself somehow. I don't know how.
All right, let me turn my...
How about
my
me? Am I
a little more.
agree?
Yeah,
No, I
it's
think
just-
you're good.
I think
You're
it was
not quite
just
as crisp
I think
as
it
you
was
were
just
the other day with me, but yeah, you're good.
There we go. I don't hear no echo now.
Okay.
I think it was just someone's speakers were too loud.
All right. So anyway, BobDub, I'm sorry. I kind of interrupted you there.
Yes.
Go ahead. Please go
No
back to
problem.
your train of thought if you even have it still in your head.
No, I think it's sort of gone. But what I was going to say, I think, was along the lines of thank you so much for letting me come on and speak to you. It's just like kind of awesome for me to be here. I've been listening to you for well, the first interview that I heard you do was with Willie Lee.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next time I heard your show, you had Josh on talking about 5G and the research he'd done into 5G. And I was completely blown away by that. Absolutely. And then, I met you as Aunt Mama Lou, which was just crack up. And I just loved it, which again, I came over here because of Willie Lee, and he told me what he was doing. And so I would tune in for like the 5 minutes before his show and the 5 minutes after his show. So yeah, it's
well, thank you so much. We appreciate that you tune in.
Yes, it's dope.
It's been fun. So and so now through Teresa, here I am. And like you said, I think, Teresa, did you mention earlier that it was because my daughter committed suicide in September last year, and Teresa recently lost the love of her life, and both of us, suffered from the whole COVID thing. And we were on the same page, So, Teresa, I brought you something as well, because this, I think, summarizes most of the conversations that Teresa and I have had over the last few months. It's by the poet Mary Elizabeth Fry, and it's called Do Not Stand at My Grave and Weep. Do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there. I do not sleep. I am 1,000 winds that blow. I am the diamond glints on snow. I am the sun on ripened grain. I am the gentle autumn rain. When you awaken in the morning's hush, I am the swift uplifting rush of quiet birds in circled flight. I am the soft stars that shine at night. Do not stand at my grave and cry. I am not there. I did not die.
Oh, BobDub, that is so beautiful. They said that at my great-grandmother's funeral, and the last two lines are engraved on her gravestone. So I'm almost in tears thinking about how beautiful that is.
Wow.
You got me right in the heart.
Because you did it to me.
Oh, man. We do it to each other, don't we? I wish these people knew some of the comments that we share back and forth. Like, it's in the middle of the night for me and I can't sleep or something. And by the way, guys, BobDub and I have known each other for a long time. Long time.
Let's see really quick, if I can really quick. It's Saturday night for most of us here. Yeah, for everyone here. Except for BobDub. BobDub, it's Sunday afternoon.
Yep. On Sunday,
New Zealand.
the past 1 in the afternoon.
She knows the future.
Yeah.
I sure do. We were the first people to...
That's crazy.
In the afternoon,
So, all right, but go ahead, Therese.
So middle of the night for me, she was still up, and I was sitting here crying in my chair because I'd heard about Mark dying. He was my second husband. He was really the only one. He's the one I had both my children with, and he was the one that I wish we could have been together forever. But when he died, I didn't know how to take it because I was his ex-wife. I wasn't his wife, and we were in such a predicament. There wasn't much we could do, and I was just sitting here I was just broken, And I was sitting here at the computer, and I just thought, BobDub, we'd been talking a little bit, and we'd known each other. I was saying before, we've been chatting channels for a long, long, long time. She always had cute stuff on her page, and I just thought her stuff was adorable. It was kind of a hi there, how you kind of friend. We didn't go into any depth, but we knew each other. So all of a sudden, I see that she's posted this about her daughter. And here I've been going through this crazy grief when it's not your spouse, it's somebody you really lost touch with and you got really mixed feelings, but you still are hurting. And so I'm sitting here and I'm just, and I was reading about what happened with her and her daughter. And I sent her a comment and I said, I'm so sorry. I'm sitting here mourning something that I can't make any sense out of myself. And we had this conversation that night. I don't know how long we talked, BobDub. You might want to tell about your end.
Hours, yeah. Yeah,
it was just like, I was literally sitting there in tears, and she said, I think you're crying for more than just that, because she knew that I've got this spinal stenosis and I've got congestive heart failure that's just going out of control. And she said, I think you're not mourning just that. I think you're mourning where you're at. And I sat here and I had to face that. Really, that was actually when it came to me that I really had to look it right in the eye. I couldn't keep skirting it. I'd gotten past the dumps, but I just didn't know how to go any further. And she smacked me right between the eyes and said, you got more than one thing to deal with, sweetie.
Oh, yeah.
And we're like, you're hurting and I'm hurting and you're helping me. And then I'd say something and she'd go, but you're helping me. You tell them how you feel on your end.
It was one of those amazing meeting of the spirits when Teresa and I talked. Well, I text message that evening. I think that it went. I think that it was hours. It was literally, I think, about 4 hours. Teresa, do you remember it?
Yeah, I think it was like 2:30. No, it might have been like 3 in the morning, and I usually go to bed earlier than that. We just couldn't stop.
Yeah. There was so many, and I think that both of us it was so raw, and we were like standing right in death's door. That the door hadn't even swung shut yet, and so I think we were both having the sort of the absolute horror and shock of what's just happened. This person that, and a lot of people around me. I don't know if it's a thing that they teach professionals to do, but a lot of people around me have said, I don't know how you must be feeling. And it sort of incenses me, because I'm like, I say to them, yes, you don't know how I'm feeling.
Right.
I could never in a million years have imagined this amount of soul pain that I'm in. Losing your child, you lose your future. You use your grandchildren, you use your marriage photos, you lose your baptisms, and
yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I'm ranting.
No, you're right.
Oh no,
you're
it's
100% right. 100% right.
So these people were telling me that they didn't know how I was feeling, and I was, thanks for that, guys, thanks.
Right.
And then there was Teresa, and we didn't have to go through any of that bullshit. It was just, damn it.
That's right. It's the difference between someone that's real and someone that's, not genuine. It's a huge difference like that. I'm a bit laggy, so give me a second.
You never called up.
There he goes.
Wow.
Okay, you're back.
It's my toaster. It's my toaster.
We got to get you a better little toaster.
I know. I'm sitting here waiting for it to load something. I don't know what the hell it's loading.
But BobDub, I was thinking about that night too, and it was so weird. It was like we had, how you get an internet connection. You invited me and I came into the room. Well, it was something like that without any. It was just like an instantaneous, like she's way over in New Zealand and I'm sitting in the middle of the United States. And at that moment, it was like, boom. I mean, she could have been sitting right here with me, because we were both right in a, like you were saying, it was so raw. My son didn't even understand, because for him, he didn't have any love lost for his father, because he walked out and left us. All he saw was a bad guy. And I remembered all the good stuff. So I'm sitting here just hurting with nobody to understand. I mean, no one. And you've been divorced too, so you know what divorce is like. Yeah. So you probably get an idea of how confusing those feelings were. And now I've lost my mom on top of it. But I know if I'm hurting really bad, we've got this new chat over there, or I'll just get her in the comments section. I kind of have an idea when she's awake. It's like we've got that, what do they call that connection, that electrons, entanglement.
Yes.
That's what
It's
we've
like,
got.
I know
Yes,
she's feeling something, and she knows it too. It's like, what do we have? Some kind of secret? We just have radar that goes, whoops, I bet she's on. And you darn, if she's not there. And she'll say, I just woke up and I read your post and it brought me to tears. And I had done the same thing when I got
it was like we were ping pong.
Yeah,
we were. Yeah, and it hasn't stopped.
Yeah. We did. It slowed down a little bit after you started getting your bearings a little bit, and I started getting. But we still have that whenever. Some days she has a bad day, and I'll just leave her a note because I know she's not always up when I am, but we do get together somehow, and I'll say, BobDub, how's your day? This is how my day's been, and I might have a really good day, and that's the day when she's like, oh.
I can always tell. I wake up, I open up my phone, I look on Minds, and I know whether you're having a good day or a bad day. I just like how often you ping up into my news feed or the type of things. I don't know what it is, but it's like walking into a room and actually kind of knowing where that other person is at.
Yeah.
You know, you just need a glance and a feeling, and you're like, oh, you had a hard day, didn't you? We kind of have that. Yeah.
I call that connected by heart.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think that's what that's exactly it. I think that's one of the things that we've also shared, Teresa, over this time, is that we've found out that our perception about God and eternal life and those big, deep questions that come up when somebody that you love is just there one day and not there the next day.
Mm-hmm. You know? It's heart-wrenching, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we both have that hope in ourselves, and we bounce off of each other. Like there'll be a day and I'll be lagging and I can't keep doing it, BobDub. I'm in pain. I just want to give up. And she's like, no, you don't. And she'll leave me. She'll say something right out of the Bible to me, or just something kind of paraphrased, and she thinks I'm helping her, and I'm like, BobDub, you have no idea. I might be sitting in this chair feeling like I'm melting into the floor, and I read something that you write, and all of a sudden I'm like, okay, let's pick up and at 'em again, because it encourages me. And then it never fails when I'm starting to come back up out of the deep slide. She's going back. It's like we've got this cycle that's going.
It's like entanglement, isn't it? It's as if we're a seesaw, entangled, and we're kind of flowing back and forth between New Zealand and America.
Like Bob Dylan's song "Tangled Up in Blue."
Yeah,
we're all tangled up. And we're starting to. I know you still have days where you just really don't feel like you can even open your eyes again. You just really can't take another step. And I always feel that too, because I've been through different things than you've been. But I know when you literally feel like you're going to lose control, that you're going to lose your mind. So it's just too much.
Yeah.
You're
drowning in sorrow. Yeah.
Yeah. And somehow we managed to diffuse that to each other.
Yes. Yeah. Did you follow QAnon, Teresa?
Who?
QAnon.
I did for a while, yes. I don't pay as much attention now, but early on, my son and I both did a lot, Yeah.
One of the things that fascinated me about the whole QAnon thing was the way that they used catchphrases. They didn't need to explain everything they said, because there was like WW1.
Where we go one, we go all.
That one, yeah. So nobody needs to explain that. It was dropped. Everybody went and watched the movie. Everybody got it, and everybody came back. And now it was just like this, like a secret code word, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And
they have another one, Dark to Light.
Dark to Light. That was wonderful. And Trust the Plan.
Mm-hmm.
Trust the Plan was the one that made me think that it was a strongly Christian-backed initiative.
Mm-hmm. I did too.
Because that's such a fundamental Christian belief. God's got this.
God's got it. Mm-hmm.
I like nothing.
Sorry?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just going to say, I like nothing can stop what is coming.
Oh,
no.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yep.
Yes, I love that one.
And remember one of his early, or I don't know, it's a group of people from what I understand. One of the early posts was Washington crossing the Delaware. It was around Christmas, and he put something up about to be strong in the Lord and the power of his might. I'm like, oh my goodness, there is some faith in this country. It really hurt me to see how everything went down so bad with the election, because I felt like that was what was supposed to happen. But since everything's been going on, I kind of think this woke everybody up to how good we had it when we had Mr. Trump in there. President Trump, he wasn't perfect. Nobody's perfect. And I'm never going to like anything every politician does, but my gosh, look at what he did and what we're going through now with inflation. And oh my God.
Another good phrase.
It definitely does.
It's not like it should be like easy for anybody to tell the difference between what happened with Trump and what's going on now. Like literally, since Kennedy's been dead, we've been basically under the Bush administration. Every single president since Kennedy's death has basically been held by the Bush administration. It doesn't matter if they're Democrat, Republican, it's still the Bush administration, CIA creeps that are running the whole show. They've been running the show, forever. Trump steps into the game. I recognize a change. I recognize difference here. This is a guy that they hate.
Hate.
Bush hates Trump. Why do they hate him? Because they know they can't stop him. They can't control him. They have no power over him.
All right. He's not entitled. He's not beholden to anybody for money. And he must not be able to be blackmailed, because they would have done it by now.
They would have already done it by now. Look at all the fake stuff they tried to do about him. And then everyone's like, well, prove it. I want to see it. Prove it. Where's these Russian prostitutes that are supposedly pissing on him and stuff? I want to see it. I want to see this. We are done with this. We called out all the bluffs, and now we say, okay, well, your next accusation, I want physical proof, or we're not even going to talk about it anymore, because this is just getting retarded. This is getting so retarded. That man literally tried to actually do a good thing, and they were just railroading him left and right, and it sickens me. It really sickens me. This was the enemy of the Bushes. But this is something that everybody always wanted, and we finally got it, and so many people shitted on it.
Yeah. And now
another good phrase is that it had to be this way.
Yeah.
And I think that's because when President Trump was in office, exactly what you said, Josh, he was knocking them out of the park, left and right. We were setting records.
Yep.
And he was up for the people. He was America first, which is unlike any of the other ones. But with President Trump in there and taking all the arrows, a lot of us weren't doing as much as we should be, or as much as we could be. And now that President Trump stepped out of the limelight and out of the shield for all of us, we've all had to sort of defend our own territory, and people have had to stand up. And this next time around, however it turns out, which I personally hope that Joe Biden is disqualified and that they reinstate our rightful president, because I do feel this election was stolen.
It was.
But however it happens, the next time around, we're going to have a lot more ground, a lot more soldiers. The first time around, it was just President Trump.
Shit's gonna get changed big time this time.
It already has. It already is.
The cycle's done. It's never gonna get repeated ever again. It's literally over.
Yeah.
I've got some stories. You guys want to do a couple. I got 2 headlines about Kamala Harris. Okay,
Oh God.
she did 2 things
Camel
today
toe.
that were just incredible, right?
Camel
Vice
toe
President
Harris.
from Twitchy, right, posted Brett T. Vice President Kamala Harris says the private sector has a significant role to play in creating jobs in Central America.
Central.
Right? That's why
America.
we're getting so much migration, because there's not enough jobs in Central America. So we'll shut down the factories here, move them to Central America, and that's going to be their solution. Still open borders, everyone can come in, but maybe if, all of Ford Motor Company moved down to Costa Rica, we could start over and really just fix the problem,
Wow.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, you know what I would say? I do feel like we should help them where they're at, but I think that we should help our own country first. And it's almost too late because they let all of those people into our country already, jumping the line.
I'm sick of the bullshit line of they got the raw end of the deal. And that's not what happened at all. Every country chose to be how they are. They all chose to be how they are. They could evolve or they don't. They chose that lifestyle. So we should never have to make up for anybody's loss. And I hate that they try to beat that into our kids' heads in schools and stuff like that. We should never have to make up for someone else's loss. They did it to themselves.
And so for the second doozy she did today, look at this tweet from Memorial Day weekend. Can you guys all see that?
Yes.
Enjoy the long weekend. No mention about it being Memorial Day.
Yeah, Memorial Day or anything. Yeah.
It's a picture of herself, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a soldier or a grave or.
Yeah. Needless to say, this was not responded to well. Right?
A long weekend.
People are just going ballistic over this, right?
I don't get any of those messages because I'm not subscribed to POTUS or any of that crap. So it's like I mean that's the funnier part. When you looked at Donald Trump's Twitter account, how many people was following him? 80 million?
Oh, yeah.
On Twitter or something like that. Yeah.
So how many people following Biden on Twitter? Like
Oh,
1 million?
the White House is
like 1 million, I think, 2 million.
Yeah,
that should say something right there. That should really say something.
And they get under 1,000 people watching their stream when
exactly.
they do it.
That should show the whole world that no one really voted for that man. It was like a small handful of people that voted for him.
And they get 3 times the downvotes that they get upvotes, and YouTube has already been changing it, and they're still horrendous.
Yeah,
they were even thinking about taking the voting down for the White House.
Yeah, they're thinking about doing away with dislikes, just to hide.
Yeah. Yep.
I went on today and I was looking up Biden. He apparently spoke on the economy, which I don't listen to his speeches when he does speak, but they had a high number of views, like 87,000, but there was very low dislikes and very low likes, which made me think that not that many people had watched it, but they bumped up the numbers.
Yeah.
Because if that many people, according to recent past history, had watched it, there would be much more downlikes than there are upvotes, because that's the way it always goes.
Yeah. I know they see a change.
Like you're pointing out, with President Trump, he could prove his supporters. But Joe Biden, he can't prove his supporters. There's just no evidence of it.
Yeah. I want to see Joe Biden have a rally and see how many people show up.
I remember hearing about him planning a car rally in Ohio or Florida or somewhere. And then I never heard anything of it. I just heard he was going to do one.
Right. But here in the St. Louis area, you have these people doing these impromptu Trump boat parades and going up and down the street just for kicks and grins on a weekend.
You just reminded me, tomorrow is a big, huge Trump boat parade in Florida.
Oh, wow.
Or is tomorrow Memorial Day? It's Memorial Day.
No,
so
it's Monday.
Yeah.
Monday.
No, wait, tomorrow's Sunday. What is today? Saturday. Yeah, it's Monday.
Well, it's tomorrow for one of us, BobDub.
Yeah.
You going to celebrate Memorial Day tomorrow?
New Zealand
We
has
lost
no
that.
Memorial Day.
Yeah, New Zealand has fallen soldiers, so yeah, you can do it.
Yeah, I don't know if the day's the same.
It's a different day.
But we've kind of lost that a little bit here. It used to be a really important day, and everybody went to the cemetery and remembered their family that were fallen. Our cemetery puts flags up, and a lot of our family goes up there every year to see the flags flying. It's really beautiful. But the main focus anymore I see is, hey, you gonna have a barbecue this weekend? It's like, whoa, this is for the dead. Veterans Day is for everybody. This is for the fallen.
Yeah.
And again, everyone have a nice long weekend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Great
What the
to
hell
have
does that even mean? That's our vice president, man. And like inches, seconds away from being the president. If we wake up tomorrow and she's president, I'm not surprised, right?
Yeah. And then look at Ron DeSantis down in Florida in the Navy. I mean, the man is a really honorable guy. Would you think if he was president or Trump was president who went to a military academy, you think they would have done something like that?
Dude, man,
All the veterans and the families of the people who died must be just screaming.
I'm literally like, I get so excited actually picturing this moment. Can you imagine that moment, when Mike Pence was supposed to actually say no to the votes? That moment. Imagine replacing Mike Pence with DeSantis at that moment. Imagine how that would have went. DeSantis would have easily says, these are not valid. Boom, and slammed that gavel down. He would have literally dismissed them right then and there. It would have been over. That military would have investigated. They would have figured out that Diebold and all these machines are rigged. It would be public knowledge to everybody. It would finally, here's the blueprints everybody can look at. Here's how it actually works. We're going to show you on every single TV channel how they cheated the election, just so everybody could believe this finally. I'm so sick of having to explain this. But the news keeps hiding all this information. It was clearly cheated. It was clearly fucking cheated. And we got all the proof in the world. And then the news tells people, no, there was no cheat. Okay.
Yeah, no evidence.
I think this is the thing, and this is the wonderful and exciting thing of this moment in history, is that we're sitting on the edge of technology, which is going to take the power out of the hands of the political class and put it into the hands of you and me. We're going to be the ones. We're going to be able to pick up your phone and instantly vote on any piece of legislation or law, or have an opinion about something, or put your name forward for a petition. It's all going to be instant, and it's going to come as soon as Starlink goes worldwide. I think that the entire...
Well, Starlink, that's the thing, is Starlink is trying to stay as private as possible. And because of that, DARPA wants to make their own copy of Starlink. Because Starlink won't give DARPA access to this. Which is actually pretty amazing. It tells me Elon's in the right direction with technology.
This just sounds like a plot scene on Terminator,
It kind of does. I mean, Skynet is DARPA. It's literally the same thing.
Yep. But what you said last night still is bouncing around in my head. He had this vision that we're in a terrarium and there's Elon Musk's car floating around like, oh, that's what they did with their time.
Yeah, just imagine that. I mean, imagine being the scientist, the god, that created this universe. And he's looking in the tank going, oh, wow, they launched the car out. Hey, guys, look at this shit. They got a little dummy inside the car. You gotta look in the microscope, but look at this. And I could just imagine, our gods or God or whatever, they're looking at this going, look at that. Look at what these people are doing.
Clown world it is. The laughter, getting back to me and BobDub, when things get really bad, we'll tell each other a joke sometimes, and we'll be I might be sitting here in tears, and then all of a sudden we're like, hey, yeah, well, whatever. And all of a sudden you're laughing. If you can't laugh in the middle of this, man, we got problems. Things are so dark. But you notice comedians that they're afraid to make people laugh because they might offend somebody, get canceled. You're afraid to make a joke around people because they might want,
I'm afraid to watch
what are their pronouns?
I'm afraid to watch any new comedy act. I'm afraid to watch it because I have a feeling it's going to go full libtarded. Like every single time, I think if I try to check out something new, it's going to go libtarded somehow. And it always does. It's like there's two dads, or they purposely did something where the boy's wearing a dress, or they are always purposely doing this. It's like not organic at all. Like I could get people that want to do shit on their own, but the whole world isn't like this. But that's how they try to portray everything.
Yeah.
It's no longer entertainment. It's programming and propaganda.
Yeah. It always was, Yotivation Nation.
Sure was.
They're making it kind of...
When was the last time you seen a white? When was the last time you seen a white couple or a black couple in a commercial? Actually, both their own races. When was the last time you ever seen that?
Occasionally.
Well, do you know how many of the world is white? How much percentage of the world is white?
Like 80%.
13.
No, it's a big number. It's a big number.
No. It's not, Josh. 6% of the world's population is white.
What are we calling white?
Caucasian.
I don't know. It's Caucasian. European descent.
Do we not call Australians white?
Yeah, but they came from Europe.
Right. I mean, all whites came from Europe. But we colonized
6%.
The whites colonized the world, right?
Yeah, that's what's amazing about our culture.
I mean, it's like
6%.
Everybody else stayed on their islands while the whites explored the world.
Well, except for China.
Yeah, except for
China, and they outnumber us, so their armies are bigger, and we are 6%.
Right.
That's why we have to get our technology right, because otherwise we're done.
Well, that's the thing, is the billionaires are hoarding that. They're hoarding the knowledge. They're hoarding the brains of everything. They're not scouting for any... There's billions of wasted talent right now all over this planet. Billions of wasted talent. There's people that can build shit like crazy. There's people that can electronically wire boards like crazy. There's people that can sing their hearts out. There's people that can do all these talents, and they're never going to be heard. Why? Because it's such a rigged world. They'll find some stupid kid in Canada and make him the next pop star. Oh, wait a minute, they already did that. That's Justin Bieber.
Well, also, remember that article we brought up the other night about how China literally put out a pretty threatening tweet towards Australia saying, look, man, if war ever breaks out, we're coming for you first.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
More or less, right? Which makes sense.
I know we got people in our top brass military that won't allow that. They'll actually override Biden. They'll override Biden. They'll fucking
if they can take
them.
New Zealand and set up all their bases there and just turn it into just a complete military compound, then you can take Australia from there easy.
Because there's,
you know what I mean?
I don't know. This is where I wish PH 1776 was here for this, because this is a question I would have for him. It would be, what's it called when the military recognizes that the president is actually really under siege? What is it called?
What?
It's when you know your leader's actually really under hostage, and the orders he's giving is not actual real orders. It's something. There's a word for this, and I don't know what it's called. I bet you PH 1776 knows this, because that's what's happening right now. Joe Biden is not really running. There's no one at the wheel. There's no one at the wheel.
China's at the wheel. I'm pretty sure China's at the wheel.
Yeah, literally, the U.S. has no.
The military is supposed to recognize this and step in.
So you see, I grew up in Africa during all the Bush wars that they had. The very last people who. Sorry, censorship.
I want to hear so much about your life. I almost hope you could almost bring up Google Earth at some point and walk us through your whole life. Where you live. Yeah. That would be fascinating, I think, to everybody. Yeah, because you can share your screen. But go ahead. You were in Reagan administration and war.
And growing up, in China. So all those terrorist wars that happened all the way from Tanzania down to Uganda, Kenya, Zambia, you've heard all the terrible atrocities that happened there. Do you know who started those wars?
Yeah.
China.
Oh.
Yeah. China kidnapped young black people from their villages, took them to Chinese concentration camps, trained them, and sent them back to Africa with Chinese-made weapons. And do you know who now owns Africa, now that all the European colonists have been defeated? China. It owns all the infrastructure, all the ports, all the railways, all the roads, and none of the countries can pay it back. So China owns half of Asia and the whole of Africa.
And everyone talks about American imperialism, but what's happening today is so much worse. Slavery today is so much worse. You name it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
Look at what China's doing with the Uyghurs. I mean, they're killing those people for body parts, and the world is doing nothing about that.
I know. I got that
because
video
they're so powerful.
Yeah, I got that video of them getting loaded onto trains. The drone recording. You can see them actually tied up with blindfolds on, and they're all being put into train cars. And the whole world's just blind to that. They don't care. It's like, no. We're gonna make a movie over here, Mulan. Let's have Mulan. Come on, Disney, let's come over here.
Mm-hmm. And in Libya, where they were starting to have a gold-based system and everybody was doing really well, now they have trades for slaves every day in the market. Mm-hmm. Slave trading.
Yes.
Our green energy that everybody thinks is so clean and everything, they have no clue that it's little 9 and 10-year-old African kids digging that lithium out. They have no clue that that's where we're getting the lithium for the batteries.
Yeah, I mean, it's
same
not
with
only
chocolate.
like 9-year-olds. They don't have, but they, as young as like 10 or whatever, they can be eligible to work there. Mm-hmm. But so it's not like everybody there is 10 years old, of course not. But
we wouldn't be doing that here in the United States. Would you send your kid out?
No,
nope.
God, no.
Hell no.
And that
we got lithium. We got lithium minerals in our country. We purposely don't mine it here. Why? There has to be a reason. I bet you it's because of all the toxins that it probably releases, all the dangers that it has involved with it, maybe. I bet you OSHA doesn't allow it.
Plus, they're defanging the United States. They're gutting us and putting all the power elsewhere. They don't want us top dog anymore. It looks like China's the next pick. To me.
Joe Biden doesn't want us top dog anymore. And I call him China Joe in all my posts for a reason. Mm-hmm. The guy is completely bought and paid for by foreign interests from Ukraine to Iran to you name it, his brother, his son, everyone in his family, making big bank off this stuff, folks. Mm-hmm. Just look it up.
And you see a news article and it says something happens, and you if this was Nixon, can you imagine the uproar? Watergate would be nothing, and it just goes by like nothing's happening here. Look the other way. Everything's normal.
Yeah. It's like Clinton getting his dick sucked.
It's insane. You can't look at it and not think what is. Something's not right here.
All right, I saw like a JPEG copy of an image of a meme that supposedly Chelsea Clinton put out, saying basically, this is disgusting. Who was it that recently got caught having sex in his office? Yada yada.
That's hilarious. She has the nerve to actually complain about. Does she not know about her dad?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
with a stained blue dress that everybody that was alive will never forget.
What's the name of her friend that just went out with it all? So I'm doing it for her interest. Right? Remember that?
Here's the funny part.
She brought that was like running the whole thing.
The blue dress that he's painted in that picture is actually the blue dress of Monica. You know that, right?
Yep.
But everyone tried to sweep it away by saying it was Hillary's dress. And then they tried to show a photo of Hillary wearing a blue dress. But the dress that Hillary is wearing is nothing like the one that's in the painting. Nothing at all close to it. It's literally the same one. Like, that was the blackmail Epstein was holding on him. Do you get it? You see what happened there?
Mm-hmm.
They count
Yeah.
on people not paying attention.
Yeah.
They count on it now.
Yeah, that was Epstein's blackmail. Why do you think he had a painting of George Bush playing with paper airplanes with building blocks all crashed down?
Yeah, you know.
That was
Exactly.
the blackmail.
That's Epstein, and yeah, I don't know. I think, Josh, you should probably, go to confession and talk to your priest about how you may have, you got a strike on your YouTube channel for harassing Jeffrey Epstein.
They deleted my YouTube channel.
Okay, and, that could have added to, I'm just saying, that could have added to why he hung himself in prison. What do you girls say?
Someone literally held his legs and then rode him like a bronco till he died. That's what happened while he was hanging from his neck.
What do you girls think of that? Do you think
I'd be right with Josh. I'd be hassling him too.
Yeah.
I would have fun doing it too.
That's literally, that's out of everybody that examined Epstein before they cremated him, besides the official report, they all said that it looked like someone hung him from his neck and then purposely wheelbarrowed him, had his legs, being pulled while someone was straddling his back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's how you can, it's like Anthony Bourdain hung himself from a doorknob.
Yeah.
Is the official story?
Yeah.
How does one hang themselves from a doorknob? I ask you.
So, guys, one of the things that I do really, really wrong in the world is that when everybody's talking and having a good time, I come in with something super serious.
Okay.
So excuse me for doing this to you, but
Cool.
I see where you're going, actually.
My daughter killed herself with a rope on her knees from the branch of one of the avocado trees on my orchard.
Oh.
And up until the moment that I heard that, the person who found her body said to me, she was very peaceful, she was on her knees. And I knew in that instant that I heard those words that I was wrong about Epstein, and it was possible. And all this thing that you wouldn't, it was, and I thought, oh,
What if it wasn't, though?
It was possible. Up until it happened to me, I didn't think that it was possible. So all I'm saying is plausible deniability has entered my mind.
I'm questioning.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I
agree with you.
I question all suicides. Sometimes suicides aren't suicides.
Yes. A
So,
lot of times when they're Hillary's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something that, you could easily frame for anybody. Because it's as long as it's something that you could self-do, then you could sustain it, and there's no questions asked.
The main thing that I'm saying is that the method that they meant to have used, Anthony Bourdain and that Kate woman, the
Spade.
I got a question. I got a question, though.
And Epstein.
All right, let her talk, man.
Okay. I was just going to say that all those things, the main argument that convinced me was you can't kneel on the floor with a scarf around your neck and kill yourself. I thought, no, who can do that? Who could do that? And then my child did it. And I was like, oh, just somebody's child can do that.
Wow.
So it just made my eyes look at all those stories very differently. And I still wonder, I've got deep, deep doubts in my heart about whether those people were suicides or murders. But I'm just saying that my conviction that it couldn't be done has been taken. So saying
But
nobody would kill themselves like that.
Was there any substance involved?
No. They've tested everything. There's nothing. There was no suicide note. There was nothing.
Nothing that would
There's
knock her
nothing
out.
in her blood. No wounds anywhere. No signs of a struggle. No. Nothing.
Really
Just
odd.
complete. And they took all the medicines that were in her room, and they took weed from her room, and they tested everything. And the only thing that they said is that there was traces of past use of a painkiller like Panadol and past use of weed.
Oh yeah, that's
so there was nothing current.
Yeah.
So, and she doesn't ever drink or anything. So yeah, you don't have to be you don't have to be being accused of being a pedophile to do that. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's
right.
I get what you're saying.
I've never seen a billionaire do it before. Someone that usually can just easily escape and stuff.
To me, the physics are just, but I totally hear you from the heart to heart. I mean, that's like, you're talking about the most serious moment of your life. So I'm not going to question anything you have to say about it. It's just, to me, it's tricky to see. I'm like 6'2", Anthony Bourdain was 6'3". It's, I mean, a doorknob. I really still don't know the physics of it, but
me neither. And the man who owns this orchard is the one who found her body. And he said, and he had the tree dug out and chipped down and de-stumped, because he said, I don't want you to see the contraption she used. So I think she must have found it online.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't want to go and find out if there's a way that you can do it from a doorknob. I don't want to go and find out.
Yeah.
But my suspicion is that there's a way that you can go and find these things out. And if you're a millennial, you just pop on and
Why did he destroy the evidence?
Because he didn't want me to be upset. After the police saw it and everything, but before he let me go into the orchard.
Okay.
Because he didn't want me to be upset. He didn't want me to stand under the tree and say, where was that rope and what happened? Yeah.
I would probably be so fascinated and curious about it. Like, this is the thing that took my child's life. I would want to poke around at it and just understand more. I would... to me, it would upset me that that guy destroyed it, because then it would actually cause a red flag. Like, why did he destroy it?
Yeah, why wasn't I allowed to see the scene?
Yeah, there was something a little weird about that.
I have those feelings. I think that's one of that whole process of grief, is you go for blame and you go for anger and you go for why didn't this? But basically, I think that
I don't want someone. I just don't want someone to go without justice. What if something was wrong? What if something did happen?
Nothing worse than what happened could have happened. I've waited for her to die for about 9 years. She's been having suicide attempts and everything. And I thought we were over it. And then she killed herself. And it's like all these years, I'm waiting for my child to die.
I'm so sorry.
And I put all my life into keeping her alive, and she dies, and
she fits a profile. I'm sorry, she fits a profile that I know.
Yes. And so now nothing worse can happen.
CIA targets suicidal people.
Yep. Oh yes.
They use them for shit, and then they make it look like a suicide.
But they take normal people and do that to them too. You just need to be the wrong person in the wrong place, and boom, your life is destroyed.
Facebook was selling suicidal data. That's what they got busted in 2014 with Cambridge Analytica, and the news was nowhere on that one.
Yeah, but come on, Josh. This isn't that.
No,
this isn't that.
They were selling data on how to make people depressed and more worse. And
she's having a heartfelt moment, and you're like completely changing the subject because there's no way this is that.
Why do you keep interrupting every time I say something?
Because you was like going off on a heartfelt moment, and you're. I know,
but like even
you interrupted her to go and change the subject completely.
I'm not changing the subject. This is all related.
No,
I don't think. I'll meet here.
He's just
okay. I'd like to respond to you,
Josh. It's okay. I'm that way
what
too.
I think, I think that what we're talking about is really, really heavy, and it's very difficult. And I don't think that there's a right way to respond. So I take all responsibility of bringing this subject up because this is not something that people have to look at every day.
Right.
So I'm aware that it might be also pretty heavy. I mean, it's been for me, it's been 8 months, and my head is still echoing with the mind-blowingness of it. So
there's a lot of stuff
but
that people can't handle.
I am angry about Cambridge Analytica because my daughter and I were both being given antidepressant medication. Antidepressant medication that has on the box a side effect of this medication is suicidal thoughts.
Mm-hmm. They were purposely They were purposely doing it.
They're purposely doing it.
Yep.
And so there are terrible fears in my heart that my profile and her profile were one of the ones that were sold to Cambridge Analytica, and that her death could be linked to that depression experiment.
Oh, wouldn't that make you so upset? I have to share something right here because BobDub knows this. I used to be terribly depressed myself for many, many years. I went through a lot of abuse as a child, and now that both of my parents are gone, I don't feel so bad talking about it. I went through sexual abuse. I'm not going into details, but that will ruin your life. It will make you not know what you're going to do with your life. You're just totally lost.
Live your life bound by it, it will control you for the rest of your life.
Well, as a young kid, as a young kid, you don't know what to do with that. So what did they do? They put me on antidepressants, and I was more depressed then than I was ever any other time. I got numb inside, and you really start thinking, I don't want to live this way. You're just like, if you don't take the pills, you're sad. If you take them, you want to die. You literally want to die. I tried to kill myself twice.
They make you feel that way. They make you feel that way.
They do. And then you wake up in the emergency room and the doctor says you should be dead. And you're like, well, you gave me the stuff. So what do? They take you off of it, and then your brain starts going crazy because it messes with your brain chemicals. People are losing 10 to 20 and more years of their life this way.
Yes.
And BobDub is making a point. We got serious really quick here, but I think that's what CensorshipSucks hope might happen. We can have laughter, but we can get really down in this is the pits of life, people. Can you imagine being in BobDub's position and wondering if it was because maybe you took her to the doctor and he gave her that, or you know that she would have done it anyway, but you got to have those thoughts going through your head. Well, and then you're faced with...
I get mental projections of a lot of things, and that's what even showed me Cambridge Analytica, and I hit the nail there.
Yeah. Yeah, you bring a technical thing in.
BobDub, I wouldn't sit and second guess every decision I made. You know what I mean? It just as a mom, I wouldn't second guess that. I would just say, if your daughter had suicidal tendencies for a long time, just be proud of how long you kept her here with us.
Censorship sucks. That's the most beautiful thing. Thank you for that. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's a hard burden. I run over every single mistake I ever made, from when she was born. And there was that day in second grade when I was late, and
Yeah.
So it's a real discipline for me to stop my brain from going there. I have to force myself.
You won't be able to.
That's a deep, dark road you just don't want to go down. You know what I mean? You just don't want to go down that road.
I don't want to go there.
You won't be able to let it go. It's never going to let go.
No. She'll just
remember, everything is an image. Everything's imprinted. It's burned into a groove, basically, like a record. Everything's like that.
It colors the rest of your life.
Exactly.
But you have to determine how you let that color your life. You could look at it as, instead of I lost her, think I was blessed to have had her. I know people don't like to think that way, but there's a reason for everything. I don't believe in coincidence anymore. So many things happen, and it's just uncanny how things are like that.
And it's also a possibility that she could be back already.
If you believe.
Well, I think she never really left, because the way I'm looking at it and understanding it is that everything in our life spiritually comes in the three of the Trinity. So she had a body, she had a soul, and she had a spirit.
Yep.
Right.
So I burned her body. I had to get rid of it, so I had to burn it. I know her soul is with God and in the heart of God. And I know that Jesus left his Holy Spirit. And I'm pretty sure that some of the very, very deep and spiritual experiences I've had since her death are encounters with the Spirit that she has left to be with me.
Oh, yeah.
So that's something that I really need. I need to believe that, you know. And I've thought about it a lot, and I've realized that this is a crisis of faith for me. I'm standing here at this crossways where I could hate God or I could love God. This is one of those moments that defines the rest of your life, you know?
Yes,
and I thought that whatever happens, I will create my future out of my decision. So if I hate God, I'm going to bring myself misery, death, unforgiveness. Or I could choose to be loving and to walk from dark to light and actually consciously create myself a good future because I'm going to believe in it, despite the fact that I can't see it right now.
Yeah.
I will believe. And Teresa, that's part of the thing that we've got between us, isn't it? The way you've been facing your own death.
Yes.
And the way I'm looking and trying to absorb this death. We're having those same feelings. You've got to believe.
Yep. And the thought that went through my head when you were saying that, we walk by faith, not by sight. Because I don't know that tomorrow something might not change. There might be a miracle and my heart is cured. I don't know. Any of us sitting here, of the 5 of us there, one of us might not be here tomorrow. That's just the way life is. But when you have time to think about it, like BobDub is grieving, and I was grieving one, and now I'm going to be burying my mother on Wednesday.
Mom. Yeah.
Would you want to know when you're going to die?
Do I want to know? No.
I don't think most people would.
I really don't want to know because I'm going to sing a song later, and I'll tell you why. Because I don't think about I'm going to live every moment that I have, and I'm trying really hard not to waste. You know, you go through your routines in the day, but I'm not going to waste a single day.
Good for you. Good for
and
you.
if we all, you know, there's a song, "Live Like You Were Dying." If we all did, go skydiving, go Rocky Mountain climbing, go 6.7 seconds on a horse.
Blue Manchu. I'm doing that.
Exactly.
Live. Just live, people. If we were doing that, all these other problems would go away. People are not God, yes, life is hard, and BobDub and I know that firsthand, and we all do. We've all had losses. We've had family die. We've had dreams get stolen, dreams shattered. But there's people that come along right then and there. It's just uncanny. I just had another friend walk out of my life, and I'm not going to go into detail about who they were. But for a time, they were perfect. They were right there, and they covered the bases of everything I needed. And they even told me the day's going to come that you're not going to need me anymore, and I'm just going to waltz right out of your life. And that's just exactly what happened. So they waltz out, and in waltzes BobDub, and in waltzes Mark, the producer that sits and chats with me at night when I'm hurting so bad that I'm sitting here shaking in pain. I found people like that. And that's what, I don't want to get back to Minds too long, but I have to get there because BobDub and I met there. CensorshipSucks and I met there.
Yeah, Minds.com.
Nation, we all met on Minds. We all met there. And BobDub's not the only one that's been going through things with me. There's other people on Minds. I could name names. I'm going to have to put on my channel someday all the people that I've talked to that have been going through something, and we shared.
And you'll still forget half of them, man.
Oh, I know. But they're everywhere. BobDub and I are special. We We have a connection that's more than some of these others. But I have to tell you another story that this place, it floors me. I could sit here and cry. Eric Marr, he writes these science fiction books.
Yeah,
I was
awesome.
reading his book. Oh, he is awesome. I was reading his first book, and I finished that book, and then everything started taking off for him. People started reading his book, and they're finding out how good they are. So he gets this group of people that just love him, and they're all in there, and they're cheering him on, and he's getting finally. The guy was eating out of the garbage can because he wanted to write so badly that he was giving up everything. He lived through communist rule. This guy has been through it, okay? So I'm in chat one day with him, and he has asked me if I'd gotten the books, and I said I had a couple of them. I had some on Kindle, but I was having a hard time reading. It was like I couldn't get the comprehension. I could see the words, I could read the sentence, but I was like, I don't, it just wasn't sinking in for some reason. I guess it's something to do with my low oxygen level or something. So he writes me into chat and he says, tomorrow morning when you get up, it'll be afternoon for me, and I'm going to read you a chapter in my book. So I get up the next morning.
Wow.
He didn't have my time exact. He thought I was up 2 hours earlier than I was, but I was actually up earlier than I said. I got right into chat. He says, okay, let me get squared away. Got to get a drink. He sat down and read me 2 chapters, page after page after page.
Wow.
And it was, oh my God, I was sitting there like, someday this guy could be like C.S. Lewis. And he's reading to me. And not only that, he goes and gets his fans. And he says, hey guys, she's going through a hard time. Go over there and tell her you love her. Give her a little message on her mom's page about her mom. And then they say, why don't we all decide to volunteer and read for every one of us that we can? So there's a list of people waiting to read to me after I get past my mom's funeral. And they send me little messages every day in chat. One of them, her last name is Simeonov. This woman, she is precious. And they're saying, we're praying for you. We're praying for you. How are you doing today? And that is on minds. My God, you see why I'm fighting so much
That's
for
amazing.
that place?
That's amazing. I want the community to read his books online. Yeah,
Yes.
I'll read one of them. You know,
Oh,
I just
he's got a heart of a lion. That man. He's older than I am. He has to be because he lived through communist rule. I remember it, but I was a kid for most of it. He remembers it. Yeah, he's got. Oh my. And he's not the only one. There's other people, like I said, and you were right. We'll forget some. It's not just me and BobDub. We've got something really special. But there are other people on there. I just met a new guy today, as a matter of fact. I'd never talked to him before. And he was really encouraging to me. His name was Is Truth the Light? And I just happened to see a post of his. He just happened to see one of mine. And we got talking, and he's like, wow, brother from another mother. He didn't know I'm a girl. And he's like, man, we could talk all day long. We sat and passed like 20 messages in chat. That's
I totally know that channel.
Oh, it's everywhere. These connections can be had. Yotivation Nation and I, the other night, in the music group, I was sitting there wondering how much longer my mom was going to be alive at the time. My heart wasn't really in it, but I'd made the commitment, and I love music, and I thought, I'm going to do this. I get in there, and here's Yotivation Nation. I told her, I don't know what's going to happen. I was really, really upset. She says, okay, honey. And we just, man, it's that kind of thing that makes me say, mine is precious. It's special.
It's precious. I'd like to tell my story about Willie Lee.
Well, Willie, I've never gotten his pronouns. Don't misgender him. I've never gotten his pronouns. It could be she or he or they or I don't know. But
you just misgendered him.
Yes, I'm sure they're he, him.
Willie Lee is a he.
Yes, he is.
Well, you can take that risk if you want to.
Willie Lee is all he. So,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm just imagining a woman sitting under a mask with hair and beard and everything going everywhere. And that could have easily been a woman. No.
He got arrested for molesting alligators. You know that.
Oh, good man. It takes some skill, I'd say.
He can be really funny, but he's really sweet, isn't he, BobDub?
Oh man! So I was on Minds, and
Willie.
Willie. So I've got some really, really bad attitude problems, and I could not cope with being on Facebook anymore. And all my friends and all my family are there, and they think that I'm really this sort of black sheep weirdo. Anywho, so I came to Minds on my own, not as part of a group. And so I was derping around, trying to understand how on earth it worked, and it wasn't like Facebook, and nobody would talk to me, and I wasn't in a group, and it was just bizarre. And there was there's Willie's picture, the monkey, right? And so there I was trying desperately to connect with people and writing things on people's posts and having little tics. And I said, hey, wow, you've got a really sexy photo or something. And he wrote back, I don't know what it was some silly thing. And he wrote back and said, hey, yeah, no, he was this monkey who actually took the selfie of himself. And and then there was a court case that had to determine whether the monkey had the rights to the photo or if the photographer did, and blah blah blah. Wow. And it was just, to me, that was my introduction to Minds. That was something that like, oh yeah, there is a guy here that's a decent guy. And then after that, I don't know how, but every single time I jumped online, there was a comment from Willie Lee that would say he jumped onto one of my posts and he'd written, BobDub is great. That was his favorite one. And the other one that he would do when I hadn't been there for a long time, he'd say, I'm just coming over here to tell you that you are missed and you are loved. So that's my tether to Minds. Yeah, Willie.
Willie. He did something like that with me too, BobDub. The actual first person I ever talked to on Minds was Erigmar. I was sitting at my computer and I didn't know what I was doing either. And I was down there and I saw this text thing pop up and it said his name. I'm like, who's Erigmar? I don't even know what's going on here, And it was Thanksgiving, if I remember correctly. And I was eating a TV dinner because we were so poor. And I was sitting here eating a TV dinner, talking to Erigmar, and he's talking about eating garbage. And I knew nobody on Minds. And I was thinking, wow, this place is really cool. So I hung out a little bit longer, and then I ran into Ritzy Ann, and I ran into Kim, Lady Red. But then I ran into Willie. Yeah, Willie is something totally different from everybody else there. He has a heart of gold. He saw me in the little backwater, and he said, I like what you post. You're kind of funny. You really like cats, don't you? And at the time, I was also posting about a guy that I posted for, and he was like, are you a guy or a girl? I think you're a girl. And I said, yeah, I'm a girl. So he starts putting on his comment sections. He'll remind something and he'd say, Tom and T is great. And people would come to my channel, hey, Willie said you're good. And then he'd put something else up and he'd come over and he'd say, how you doing, girl? And he would send me tokens, and I didn't know what tokens were. I was like, oh, that's cute. It's yellow and shiny. Oh, use it to boost it. It'll get you. I mean, the guy is like an angel.
like an
He's
angel.
human, believe you me. I met him in person. He is very tall and he's really not bad looking. If I was in the dating game, I'd date him in a heartbeat. But that's
Willie,
oh
alert,
God, don't.
Willie.
But he knows better.
Yep.
He knows better.
You got the green light there, Willie.
But he knows that I'm not there, okay? But the guy, we sat and talked like BobDub and I do in chat for like 3 or 4 hours. And I found out he knows German and we were talking in German back. We were talking about politics. We were talking about being Christians. And then all of a sudden I look at my clock and it's like almost supper time. He spent all that time, but I was there because I was worried about him because he would do the same thing with me as BobDub. He almost every day, how are you today? You okay? And then I found out he had a stroke and he hadn't been writing. I was like, what? And then I go on and they say he's in the hospital. And then he's saying he's driving home.
Oh, yes.
It became a real friendship.
Have you guys heard the German commercial for the Willie's Worm hot dogs that Hideki made?
I haven't, but I heard that he does it in German, yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny. And Mr. Producer, Mark, plays that Dragus Productions, plays that in his like filler for other shows. Yotivation Nation, are you there? Because you also are trying to get David Hogg on the show, right?
Yes, it's true.
We're trying to get David Hogg on the show. You guys know? You know who he is, right?
Is he a real boy yet?
She knows who he is.
Oh, yeah. Got that David Hogg. Honest, that's the guy who I got my YouTube channel lost over.
Yep.
I had a comment in a video. It wasn't even me. I posted for Gabe Zolna, who was a really funny guy, and he got taken off YouTube. So he asked me if I would post for him on YouTube. That's what my channel mostly was. And it mentioned in the video something about David Hogg and the other 2 people, the Spanish American girl and one other person. I mentioned their names and said they're trying to talk to us like adults and their kids. They called it cyberbullying, and in one day my whole channel was gone.
They found out David Hogg wasn't even a kid. He was like 21.
Yeah. So
riding
when you get
bicycle.
online, you see his face.
Yeah. David Hogg wasn't even a kid. That's what, what was funny, and the news all just scattered after that. Everything just scattered. But people lost their channels and everything over this because they said, "Oh,
yeah, I lost my channel."
Yeah, and it's like that's nuts for a fake,
And I wasn't saying anything except like these kids are trying to tell everybody to not have guns.
Yeah,
they're just kids. I didn't say anything mean. I was looking at it like a parental point, like we're listening to children. Whoa, and you lose your channel over something like that. But look how bad it is now.
100,000 subs. Josh had 100,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Yep.
That's why we're just saying goodbye to YouTube, man. We're JoshWhoTV.com.
Yep.
That's it. Right?
YouTube's poop.
Go there.
YouTube is just garbage. It is.
It is garbage. They're going to have the reputation of what's that one you mentioned last night, Josh? It's turned into a music site. It used to be
MySpace.
everybody MySpace.
Yeah.
YouTube is going to turn into MySpace. Just wait.
Basically.
Or it'll be posting just videos that are ancient old and people will be paying for YouTube video. It'll be like Netflix if it survives.
They broke it. They broke it. See,
This
is what's crazy is they actually had the opportunity to literally host the world. They actually had the opportunity to do that. They could have been the most powerful people in the world if they actually did that correctly. But what did they do? What did they do? They shitted on everybody.
Mm-hmm.
They said, no, I want HBO and Disney to be here instead. That's what they said. Screw you. We want the corporations to come in.
I was back on YouTube in the early days, 2006 or so. There were people that were on older than that probably, but I was way back there. And we used to have a chat function where you could go and talk back and forth, and it was literally live. If you were both there at the same time, And we would get tons of people, just like we did on Minds, sitting there talking about anything and everything. And then people started live streaming. And there was a guy on there named Photo Helix. A lot of people just loved him. He got tons of people to say, I'm awake in a little video. And then he put it all on a video. And it was just people, one after the other after the other. I'm awake. I'm awake. I'm awake. That was YouTube.
Yep.
Okay. We were talking about everything is a rich man's trick. We were talking about the trade towers. We were talking about Building 7. There was nothing off the table. YouTube was like the place to go to find out what really was happening. You were finding out all these things that were conspiracy theories actually had facts behind them, real facts.
And the dum-dums.
Now you go and try to look up one of those things that woke me up.
Yeah, the dum-dums.
Go look up loose change.
The dum-dums, it's on JoshWho TV.
Thank you, Josh. Or how about we need to talk about Sandy Hook? I put that up and lost a channel to that, too. I forgot about that.
The dum-dums, they literally hide behind the fact that they go, oh, if it's on the internet, then it's a conspiracy theory. Any dum-dum that actually says anything close to words like that, doesn't know anything. They're literally retarded. They have no knowledge of what the hell they're even talking about, and that's the only words that they could say to try to say that they're on top of this game. And it's a bullshit lie. It's a bullshit lie. You have no clue what the hell you're talking about. It's like, it's totally nonsense for you to say, oh, because it was on the internet, it's fake. That means you don't even know. That means you're just repeating a lie that someone else told you, and what I'm telling you goes against that. And you're going, no, that can't be right. Well, look it up. No, I can't do that. Why?
And remember back in the wild days of YouTube, there was false information. There were space cases on there, but we were adults and we go, I'll listen to that for 5 seconds.
Yeah, and figure out what's real and what's not.
We were adult enough.
It's not that complicated. But now we're in a world where they got to sugarcoat everything, and they got to literally fact check a meme now that's literally purposely a joke.
Yeah.
They actually fact check it.
People are going to jail for a joke and a meme.
Yeah.
Did you ever think that would happen in the United States of America?
No, the Orwell did. He thought it would.
Yes, he did. He sure did. But all you have to do is say one trigger word and they're breathing down your neck.
Yep.
And it's really sad because that place if you wanted to find out something, YouTube was where you went. I spent hours there like I spend hours on Minds now. So they ruined that. They ruined Google.
Feed. There was a good feed, I would actually stay more on Minds, but I just keep scrolling and I just run into the same bullshit over and over and over again. So I'm like, nah.
You know what I do, Josh? What? I keep a list of channels that I'm familiar with, and I go to them. That's what I do. I go to BobDub. I go to like 20 people.
Everybody sucks. There should be a way to just click next, 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 and they don't got it designed that way.
Yep.
They want you to see
and they also don't
crap.
have that top button like you have.
Yep.
You got a top button. Again, they want us to waste our time and do our dopamine drip.
Exactly.
But look what they've got too. They've got their downside, but then they've got that little bit of heaven too. If you just know where to connect, and it happens like out of the blue. Like BobDub, I would see her in my feed. I'd see her name go by. She'd upvote something or remind something, and I would go over to hers and do the same thing. But then one day something just clicked. You know, it's that magic there that makes it what it is. And when I get, like I was last night, really angry and like, this stuff has to change, and blah, 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 blah. It's because of that. It's like, wow, look what they got here. And somebody just came on today. I don't even remember who they were. And they were talking about Minds was kind of hard to get around and they couldn't find anybody to talk to. They were a newbie and they had just subbed to me. So I just decided to talk to them a little bit, see what they were about. And I said, well, the first thing you're going to have to do is just kind of find your way around, find some friends. And I gave them a couple of names. But they were like, so far the people I've met here are really pretty cool. And I said, oh, you just started. You don't have half an idea. And they came back a little later today from some of the things that I'd recommend. They said, thank you very much. Now I love it here. So I just
That is awesome.
Isn't it awesome? And you have that happens every day. If you answer your comments,
I don't know what Willie's
there's always somebody. But other people have a different idea about mines. For them, it's playing games, or somebody else it's advertising whatever they're writing, or they're an artist and they even have things up for sale. And I don't mind that at all, because I look at them and go, wow, look at what those people made. This one artist, I don't remember what her name is, but she has these beautiful things that are wolves, and she draws it on all kinds of stuff. And it's like, she did one day where it was a video of her drawing. I'm going, I'm sitting here on this little backwater mines that nobody knows about, and I can't get them to come in here. And here's this girl with talent like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna literally eliminate all possibilities of me having echo. You know why? You hear that echo? You hear that echo? Echo, 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 echo. That's know how I know that's not coming from my mic?
Huh?
Because I digitally process my sound, and my computer actually cancels any feedback. So I'm hearing it through someone else's speakers.
All right, let me mute.
Testing, testing, testing. See? Now there's no echo.
So it's me?
Yep.
Okay, what can I do?
Headphones.
I don't have any headphones. Oh, I won't be able to hear you on headphones.
You won't?
No, my headphones are more for music. I can't hear voices. Can I turn sound down?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay, and I'll mute as much as I can.
Okay. Yeah, because noise cancellation is not working on your device.
Okay. Right. Is that any better?
Testing, testing, testing. I still hear me.
Boom, bang, boom. Echo.
I'll just mute as much as I can.
Okay.
No, you're doing beautiful. It's all lovely. Everything tonight, I'm so impressed with the show tonight. It is so good. You guys are just.
Everybody throwing blame at me for the echo, and I know it's not me.
Yeah, no, Willie, we need you to come into the show too, because we've got Okay, so Teresa, you are actually driving a truck right now as you are broadcasting with us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're broadcasting from the cab of a truck. No one would ever even know that. You're actually a long haul, 18-wheeler driver, right?
Mm-hmm.
And where are you in the country right now?
Oh, hey, honey, I'm down here in Florida, and I just ran off the road. I'm in trouble. I think I just ran through half of Willie's worm farm. Mama Lou, are you there?
Oh, yeah, honey, that's right. She sure did. Oh, my goodness, Willie, I don't know what we're
Willie,
if
you're out there in the chat, you got to get in here on the show, because something just went down on your worm farm, and Teresa just, I think, ran over. And I hear the monkeys are just irate. They're screaming,
Willie, she ran over my sheep.
The truck. And so you're just giving it gas, right? You got to get me out of here.
It's all right,
Willie, honey, I'm so sorry. Anytime I talk to you, baby.
It's all right, honey. Don't worry about it, because you just helped us make room for Wormapalooza. It's fine. We needed some parking spots anyway.
But I fell into his glory hole. Oh, my God.
Glory hole?
Honey, don't worry.
It's bad luck to go through one of those without yelling glory hole.
Don't worry, baby girl. If you're glowing, that's just normal. Don't worry about it. That's how we're going to be doing glow sticks for Wormapalooza. People just going to jump off into the glory hole.
Right.
And then they going to be the glow stick, because we have apparently some uranium down in the bottom of our glory holes. But don't worry about it. You're going to be just fine.
Am I going to glow in the dark, baby?
For just a little bit, honey. Just a little bit. It's gonna be fine.
So at least I don't have to call my lawyer.
Yeah, no, baby. I'm sure Willie would forgive you for that. Like I said, we just don't have to hire a bulldozer now, right?
Exactly.
I think I can make that happen, honey.
What you got on the back of that truck, sweetheart?
Um, it's coiled steel, baby. We're going down to get this steel off of this truck so I can head back home to my baby.
Well, maybe some point we could maybe take a little bit of that cold steel because we got our worm palooza coming up and we're going to be needing to make a cage for a wrestling match. You suppose we could take a little bit of your cold steel?
Why, sure, honey. I got insurance on this pretty truck. You see how nice it is, right? Well, I makes me some really good money.
Oh,
and
Willie's going to be real proud.
Oh, I could pass a little on your way, baby.
Okay, wait a minute. If there's good money to be made, I definitely want to come into this conversation. I just heard that.
Of course.
So you're always listening.
Okay, so how do we make good money from this?
Oh, well, I don't know who you are, baby, but I got a junkyard dog of an
I have a matching tattoo with that Mama Lou, okay? Don't question me.
Hey, who do you think you are, little boy?
I've
been around and I got a great lawyer.
I live in Beverly Hills and I'm a music producer from Beverly Hills, California.
So don't get her all worked up. She's a truck driver, honey, and I know you're a tiny fella. She could take you.
I can tighten down that coiled steel with the best of them, baby boy. You want to come and coil my steel a little tighter?
Okay, all right. So how is there money to be made? I think that's what Saul wants to know.
Well, you'll have to talk to my attorney, honey. Her name is Carol, and I can give you her number if you give me your number. We'll get together and your people
Carol
can talk
Rosenstein? Carol Rosenstein? I know her. With Saul, calm down, okay? Just because you heard a little bit of money is going to be made. Jeez.
Is that Rod Rosenstein's
Ladies, go
sister?
ahead. Ladies, go ahead.
I think so.
Okay. Well, Mama Lou, I'm really sorry, and I guess Willie's not around. So would you just tell him that I'll make it all right for him?
Oh,
I promise.
Sure. I know you will, honey. You've got a good heart. I know you're going to be just fine. You come back for Palooza, though.
Okay,
come back and
you
join
have
us.
18 wheels. I need 5 of them, okay?
Ooh.
You can get home on 13 wheels. You know that as well as I do. So I need 5 of your wheels right now so I can sell them and recoup some of the losses. You drove through a shed.
All right. Did you? What's going on?
Yeah, I did it. I did it. I'm so sorry.
It wasn't nice.
I'll make it up to you guys. I really make money driving this truck, baby, and I can put all kinds of things in there for you, honey. Do you need to get some whiskey down there? I could get you some whiskey right out of the still in Kentucky.
Wow, it's good to know people, I tell you that much.
Oh, yeah, you think that Deuce of Hazzard got anything on us, Mama Lou? And it ain't just whiskey. You name it, we'll put it in there for you, baby.
Yeah. Just some good old girls.
And Saul, we don't need people like you, honey. We know how to do this between ourselves. You know, this is called lady to lady business.
Mm-hmm.
JoshWho.
Well, Mama Lou, I got to get on out of here, honey. I got to get this stuff fixed up here, and I got to get this steel where it's got to be going. I got to get myself to the truck stop because I got a honey waiting for me there, baby. And
we'll go to
he
break.
is so sexy.
Break in 5, 4, 3, 2. Yes. Welcome back to the CensorshipSucks show. Yes. That's usually
if you're tired of going through a door and it actually really goes somewhere, then go to realfakedoors.com today and you can buy a real fake door that doesn't open.
Oh, that was awesome, you guys. That was so fun.
That's me. Hang on.
I told you I could do it. I lost it a little bit, but when I get back to it, it's fun.
That's what we do on the show, man. We have fun with it. We just really roll with the ball and have fun. And Yotivation Ace is kind of like the one person who's always poo-pooing on every idea. She's like, no, it won't be funny. No, I don't want to do it. But we still do it anyway. And
hell no. Awesome. You're the one who poo-poos on the ideas.
I might sometimes. I don't
all
know.
the time.
I come up with a bunch too.
Yeah, now that we've got her in there, whenever you guys need that water, we can do that water for free. We can go up to Lake Michigan and get it, and we can bring it down and bottle it, and then they could charge all that money, and we can say it's fresh water from Lake Michigan, that really dirty lake.
Yes, go cleanse yourself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka.
Oh, yeah, we could name it something nice.
Yes.
All right, Willie's here. All right, so guys.
Oh, shit.
All right, Willie, there was an incident on the farm tonight.
I
don't know if you heard.
You must have hijacked the half-Asian lady.
All right, let me explain. Teresa drove her truck into like the neighborhood of your home. Your monkeys came out and started throwing rocks at her truck. Okay, and started chasing her down.
Mm-hmm.
And so she freaked out and drove through like your barn. She drove through some of your, some of your property. Yeah, she did some damage there. A bunch of worm beds are dug up.
I messed up. I fell into your glory hole, honey.
But you didn't yell glory hole. You did it.
Hey, y'all hearing me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey. Man, it's a daggone tractor trailer. It's a flatbed. It's on my daggone property. It's done crashed up, man. Hey, there's a woman in there. She's pretty too, man. Hey, y'all look at how. Hey, that what y'all was just now talking about? Y'all got her on the radio. Hey, she talking to y'all.
She's been here with us. We're not on the radio, but yeah.
Yeah, well, shoot, partner. Hey, doggone, man. Hey, I just want to tell y'all, hey, and I heard that Saul Good in there a while ago, too, man. Hey, you know what? That Saul Good, he ain't daggone good for nothing, man. Hey, doggone. Hey, look at him. Hey, but he's a pretty, she done crashed, man. She done crashed, but she pretty, man. Doggone, I might keep her. She don't act like she's dead gonna hurt too bad or nothing, man.
In your glory hole, if you know what I mean.
She all up in my daggum glory hole.
Really, we can't keep people.
Yeah, stop kidnapping.
I heard you're real good looking, Willie.
No, I'm gonna keep her, man. I'm gonna keep her. Doggone, I ain't gonna let her go, man. Hey, look at him. Oh, doggone.
The last thing you said, you didn't even give her water.
Yeah, she the only one ain't never sent no daggum retraining order out on me, man. Hey, I got that daggum Denise from over yonder in England, man. Hey, she done told me I got to stay away from her and got the law after me and stuff. And that daggum Lee Triana Brown lives up in South Carolina, man. Hey, I got her address. Lee Triana Brown, she lives right up there. I'll tell y'all exactly where she lives, man.
No,
we don't want to know.
Really, stop.
Yeah, well,
stop.
Yeah,
stop. That's called doxing. Do not do that.
But I don't know about no dog. Who dog?
Yeah. It's called.
It's called Donkey Show.
Don't do it.
Honey, you don't be messing with us Annabelle and babies from South Carolina now. You know, baby, I'm from Charleston. You don't be doing that, honey. And if I was still dating, you'd be my kind of guy, honey. So I'm really sorry I messed up your worm farm, but baby, we can get together. We can just go have coffee,
that didn't even freak out neither. I mean, right there, Willie.
Willie.
You got
Willie, you better watch out. She's a truck driver, honey. You don't know what those truck drivers do.
Willie's been in overdrive courting mode lately. I'm telling you what.
Yeah, what's up with you and Denise, Willie? I'm jealous.
Yeah, hey, I got me a daggone Willie. Willie's fan only, man. Hey, y'all look it up. Willie's fan only. Willie's fan. I got me all kind of daggone
I think it's
fans,
OnlyFans / Willie.
Yeah, no, Willie, you had me set that up for you. It's onlyfans.com / Willie's Willie.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Willie's / Willie's Willie.
Yeah, but the problem is, man, is I got all
It
these
says you're not
daggum
accepting
people,
any
man.
money. What's up with that?
That's the problem. Hey, man, that's what I was just getting ready to tell you, man. Hey, look at him. That daggum all good. The guy his ropes in there somehow or another, and he's pulling the strings, and he making it where I can't make no daggum money off of it, man. I'm telling you, that daggum all good. That's all good.
Well,
He crooked. He
really,
crooked.
you get 5%. You get 5%. That's the deal.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah,
And I send you the 5% every month. You get it.
man,
I just
I
send it
ain't
in
get.
Bitcoin, right? Like as per
I
our
ain't.
agreement. You get it in Bitcoin.
I ain't getting no daggum nothing, man. Hey, they
You
got a
get a bit of
daggum
a coin. You gotta get a bit.
somebody
Of,
not
you hear that, Willie?
not
You gotta get a bit of a coin.
yeah, that's all it is, a bit of a coin, man. Hey, no, he give me something called a doggy coin and a pie coin and all the other kind of coin. I ain't never heard of no daggum doggy coin or a pie coin or and all this other kind of stuff, man. Hey, but we done come out, we done got it all figured out, man. We gonna have us what they call a daggum Willie coin, man. Hey, a Willie coin, that's a Willie coin, that's gonna be the thing of the future, man. I'm telling
Willie
y'all
coin.
what, if y'all don't believe me, just ask me. I tell you, look,
we've already got it listed at hashtag. It's hashtag worm, WORM. Yes,
Worm?
Willie's Worm Farm has its own
Token.
Coin on the ERC20 network. It's an Ethereum coin called Worm, WORM, and we made it. And yes, it exists, and you can go buy it now. It's $0.000000001 dollar. So yes, you can buy that now. It's a real thing. Go to Worm, WORM.
Token?
Wow, you did that already?
Yeah, I tell y'all somebody else I'm sweet on is that daggum BobDub, man. That BobDub, she lives down yonder on a great big old island out there in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, man. Hey, that BobDub, man. Hey, you want to know somebody smart? That's one smart woman. If y'all don't believe me, just ask me. I tell you, look at him.
Oh, Willie, you make me laugh so much.
Look at him. Oh, doggone, there's BobDub right there. Oh, I'm sweet on you. Look at him, look at doggone, man. Hey, she can't. Hey, she in another country, and she ain't getting no daggum retraining order on me. Look at him. I don't even know how that Denise done it, man. But doggone. The thing is, I send BobDub letters, man, they all coming back to me. I put them in a bottle and I throw them out in the ocean, and they just wash back up on the shore. I don't even know how to get a letter to her.
Willie, you're so funny. You know I love you. We've spent so many happy nights together, you and I, Willie.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I miss you.
Yeah, I used to do that too, Willie. Didn't we? Did a whole bunch of us used to do it. Really? Remember that?
Just sit there.
Willie, you're a
just
pimp.
sit there. Just sit there.
Oh yeah, Willie the Pimp. We used to make jokes about that and the old chat with Ritzy Ann and all the girls, man. We were like, you gotta stay away from Willie.
Oh yeah,
I love Willie. Hashtag not gay. I do.
Oh, Willie's definitely not gay.
I'm gonna tell you, each and every one of you are awesome, and I appreciate each and every one of you very much.
But we love you because you've been so good to us
you're
too.
Awesome, Willie. You're a G. You are a G.
Yeah. You're fucking hysterical.
The dude.
Mm-hmm. And I think everybody on Minds knows who Willie is. At least they used to. I don't know how active you are anymore, but man, everybody knew. If you went to Minds, you were going to know who Willie Leave was.
Yep, he ran the show.
But then you got down personal and talked to BobDub and talked to me. You really did a great thing there, bringing people that were in the corners out into the light.
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's what it's all about, too. You know.
Yep. And you know what? Because you did that, I do it, and a whole bunch of other people do. We look at new people and we say, Willie did it, so I'm doing it too.
Yep.
That's what it's all about.
Yep.
And I can't even tell you how I've met a lot of the people on mine. Motivation Nation, she's one of them. I used to, follow her, and she was really into, a lot of what was going on as far as news went and everything. And I'm like, Motivation Nation. Now she has got it all figured out.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? None of us really have it figured out. We're all looking for answers. We're all looking for, we're all looking for truth. And that's why I like Josh's name, Truth Seeker. We're all looking for the truth. But here's the thing. Whenever you find out what the truth is and you know the truth, it's almost like, everybody around you, nobody gives a rat's ass about the truth.
I know.
That's what sucks.
You've seen me. Okay. Have you watched my channel lately, Willie? I've been pounding it home, man. I've been saying, hey, I believe in Jesus, and if you don't like it, oh, I'm sorry, but I do, and I'm going to tell you why. And I've had really good response.
Yeah, and that's what I tell people too. It's like, you know what? I can't understand how come anybody, and it's just me. I don't understand how anyone, and I'm not going to get real religious or anything. Organized religion in and of itself, it's a sham, it's a scam, it's a money-making business. But there is an almighty creator out there. I mean, everything is just, there has to be an intelligent being, an intelligent creator for everything to be like it is. I mean, if you look at everything on a molecular level, there are so many similarities. It's just, and there's a lot about molecules that we don't know. We talk about protons and electrons. We talk about quarks and string theory, and we talk about something.
It's all in theory.
Yeah, but the thing of it is even when you analyze a molecule, there's something in between that's holding everything together. There's something that we can't see, that we can't comprehend, and that's where you find the power of God.
That's entanglement. That's entanglement.
He holds all things together, right, Willie?
Exactly. That's just it.
And he doesn't just do that. He pulls us together. He pulled you and me together. He pulled you and BobDub. He pulled me and BobDub. And look at we're sitting here, all three of us, in a bigger world because we believe in God.
I just want people to understand that God's not a giant angel with a halo over his head. He's literally wearing a lab coat and probably has a beard. And a lot of people just don't picture that as a god, and they don't want to. And I'm like, but that's really what this is. I mean,
they want you to think it's this big old man with a great big beard sitting on a throne with clouds.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
Right. And then people talks about, oh, well, they're going to die and go to heaven. Nobody knows what heaven is. I firmly believe I have a whole lot of beliefs that are, out of the ordinary. But I do believe that after our bodies die, that God still has a purpose for our energy, for our soul, for our very being in one capacity or another. We read the Bible, and the Bible starts off with in the beginning. But guess what? If you look at in the beginning, there was something before the beginning.
Exactly.
In the beginning was a new beginning. There were civilizations. There were other civilizations before our civilization.
Thank you.
That's
that's where I always usually end the whole paradigm tunnel by going.
Right.
It's going to go back to what came first, the egg or the chicken or the egg. Because now it's like literally someone had to make the bird in order to lay the egg, but someone had to hatch an egg in order to make the bird. So what happened there?
Everything works in tension with each other. It's life. I was talking about the battery the other day, the positive and the negative.
Yeah.
It's something like that, I think. And like Willie said, we don't know what heaven is like, but I'm not the only one. Some people have had these death experiences where they've got to come back. And granted, we didn't actually go there because it couldn't have been permanent. We had to come back. But we get an idea that there was something there.
Yep.
And everybody's worrying about everything. But when you get up there, it's like, what on earth are we worried about? This is a great big God, and he's got all of us. I can go up in his lap.
Well, the thing that I read recently that absolutely blew me away and made me see things in a completely different light was a line from somebody's. Anyway, it said, God is not loving. God is love.
Right.
And you were talking just now, Willie Lee, you were talking about how there's a force that holds everything together.
Right.
What if that's love? What if that is God, that is love? What if love is the thing that we pray to? That there's this just massive force that holds the whole universe together, and it's the force of love.
Well, then you look at words, you look at definition, you look at our understanding, our human understanding. And there are concepts. There's things out there that we can't possibly understand. We have certain words for certain things, but there are things out there that have no description that we can describe. And that's what it's all about. We go through this life, it's almost like we're on a bus and we're going from point A to point B. And then, the bus crashes, but we're the occupants of the bus, and we're not going to, we're that soul, we're that spirit. Yeah, exactly. We're going to go elsewhere. God's got another plan for us. See, our design on this earth as human beings is to grow through our trials, our tribulations, through everything that we go through. Everything is put in front of us for a reason. And when we're small, David, I've told Bob this before too, and I know I've probably told Teresa the same thing. When we're babies born into this world, we are pure positive energy, and as we go through this life, we're inundated by negative energy. How we deflect that negative energy is going to be who we are when we get old. Whenever we die, by the time it's all said and done with, it's who we are deep down inside.
Like the Bible says, you're tried in the fire, and you could be burned away like hay or stubble, or you could be bronze, or you could be silver, or you could be gold. And the choice really isn't yours, because it also says that God decides what the vessel will be. And he can even use a broken vessel. And when you think about that, what makes diamonds so beautiful? They've been cut, they've been bored, they've been polished, they've been put through literal hell. But what do? They reflect the light, and it becomes beautiful. Well, I'm one little facet. Willie's one facet. Yotivation Nation's a facet. We're all little facets. And C.S. Lewis has this thing called the Great Dance, and he calls this feeling that we have Sehnsucht. You know that word, Willie? It's German. It means a longing for something that you can't quite put your finger on.
Right.
And he says, when you die and you go into this beautiful place, you're going to be there. And it's like when you see fireflies around a light bulb, it's going to be something like that. There is this magnificent thing that we can't even name here on earth. When Moses tried to look, God said that he had to literally cover him when he walked by. That's the kind of glory he had. And he would have his face shining when he came down from the mountain. I saw that glory, that bright, they call it Shekinah glory. It's something that you can't even look at with your human eyes. But that very God, that powerful God, is in each and every one of us if we'll just let him. And not only that, if you've ever heard the song Reckless Love, he's not only there waiting and knocking at the door like those pictures you have, he's literally running after you like, please, I want to love you. Just give me a chance. All you have to do is stop, turn around, and I'll be here. And we're like, don't have time. I got to go to work. I'm busy. But people like me and BobDub, and you've had to be off work because you've gone through a stroke. You go through that time and you're sitting there, and all of a sudden you get this presence. It's like, you're not alone, honey. You're not alone. I'm here, right in the middle. He doesn't take you out of the storm like he did with his disciples. He comes and gets in the boat with you. So what the heck does everybody worry about? And that's why I try to change how I talk and who I am, because I wouldn't be surviving if I didn't have that. And I know you wouldn't either, Willie. And BobDub, I don't think she would either.
I'm definitely not.
You guys see
everybody's got a story to tell.
That's one of the first things you said to me, Willie Lee.